My name is Alex Papp. I am a third-year biology and environmental studies student, and I have been living in rural Tanzania for the past 4 months on biology co-op. Two NGOs are currently developing Kehembe Environmental Learning Center, which will be an educational resource for locals and for people all over the country and all over the world to learn about Tanzania's environment and the environmental issues that are being faced by the country currently. The Kesho Trust is focused on protecting Tanzania's environment while at the same time developing its communities. It works closely with 6 villages that surround Sedani National Park. One of the major threats to the environment is the charcoal industry. Locals burn trees in order to create charcoal, and it's a major source of income for them. But it's also incredibly damaging to the environment. We interviewed about 30 local people and talked to the village government to ask them how they thought they could use their environment in more sustainable ways. The Kesho Trust hopes to establish an example mushroom farm on the property of Kehembe to show locals how they can partake in this livelihood. It also hopes to establish an example tree nursery on the property. The nursery could be used as an educational resource, but also could provide saplings to deforested areas. We also visited and documented various of the village's attractions, which included environmental features like forests and waterfalls. Community-based tourism can be a possible alternative to charcoal burning too. Another project the Kesho Trust is undertaking is an environmentally focused, community-run radio station. We visited a local school to assess interest in the project, and overwhelmingly, the youth wanted to be involved. We invited them to Kehembe the following morning to go birdwatching, and were amazed by their passion and enthusiasm for the environment. The kids knew all the names for the birds and knew the properties of most of the plants in the area. It was really eye-opening living in a different country because I realized that many of our expectations regarding environmental issues are developed country expectations. In Canada, we have the luxury of time and money that we can put towards environmental issues. But in Tanzania, they're worrying about putting food on the table that night. That's why it's so important to provide alternatives when talking about environmental sustainability. I also learned that they're not limited by passion for the environment. As people who live in the outdoors most of their waking lives and rely on nature for their income, they know inherently that it is important. I am so grateful for having had the opportunity to live at Kehembe Environmental Learning Center for a semester, to meet the village people who care greatly about saving their local environment and simply thirst for resources to mitigate the destruction. I'm so grateful to have been immersed in a culture that is so rich and different from my own, to have met individuals who fight every day for nature. However, I am left also with a sadness because I worry that the destruction of forests will continue in the Sedani area. I worry that the beautiful environment I witnessed will be cut down and burned due to a lack of ability amongst the local people to stop it from happening, due to a lack of alternative income options. But lastly, I am hopeful. I am hopeful that the work of the Kesho Trust will continue. In our short time at Kehembe, we noticed changes. The village of Makonge increased security surrounding one of their natural attractions with the prospect of community-based tourism. We saw community members get excited about projects like mushroom farming and honey farming. We saw a momentum growing. I hope that the Kesho Trust is able to continue to fund projects in the Sedani area, because their work is so important. I also hope that others would consider these goals worthwhile to contribute to as well.